Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, was caught on video calling ADC lawmaker Leke Abejide, saying, quoting him, "Stay in ADC, fight them, scatter them. We like what you are doing." Does it give credence to insinuations that this Tinubu government is out to just muzzle opposition?
Muzzle is understatement. They wish they can close their eyes, open it, and all opposition vanishes. This shows how worried they are about opposition political parties. They admit that they have failed woefully and that they are not able to deliver to Nigerians and convince them to vote for them in 2027. All that Tinubu said about opposition, he will send Akpabio to go and scatter them. Akpabio cannot take care of himself. Akpabio cannot take care of himself.
How do you mean?
Do you know why Akpabio was made the Senate president? Because he has numerous EFCC cases against him. So each time they present an issue to him, they show him his EFCC cases. And then he will bow. Because the day he stops doing their biddings, they will use EFCC and send him back to prison where he belongs. And he knows it. So Akpabio is like a zombie. By the way, he was my schoolmate in Unica. And you know that in Unica, he never distinguished himself in any way. So let us say he will just be another Senate president that has passed through the history of Nigeria. What legacy is he going to leave behind? He's a colorless presidential Senate president who has numerous EFCC cases. But one thing he forgets is that this present regime might cover him because all his cases, none has been concluded or terminated. The future parties that might take over power, if they are not his party and if it's not aligned to them, might also choose to continue the cases and send him to prison. So nobody should allow himself to be used the way these people are using all the people they have on their stable. And I want to ask everybody, look back in history where you started. Like the leader of the ADC in the Senate, Bamidele Okoyemi. Bamidele started with us in the student movement. He was a student in University of Benin where he studied law. We elected him as Nantes president under the military regime. And at that time, Nantes was banned. Bamidele, you as Nantes president operated a banned organization under the military regime of Babangida. Bamidele, what makes you think that if you can survive fighting against the military regime of Babangida as Nantes president, that we will not fight against Tinubu? What makes you believe that? We should also ask our friend, who is the majority leader of APC, Professor Julius Ehovare. Julius, in all your life, you have carried yourself as a progressive, a Democrat. Can you say that what your party and you and your party are doing is you are living up to the tenets of what you proffered in the past as a comrade professor in University of Port Harcourt? Can Oshobole honestly say that what we have today as government, which is participating in, are not a bunch of bandits in power? These are crooks, criminals,
These are harsh words,
and vagabonds masquerading as government officials. They are worse than bandits. They are killing more people than bandits. So they should be referred to exactly what they are. This is a bandit government, and Nigerians must wake up and resist them.
Since you are talking of bandits and let's look at insecurity, we understand that in the last how many days now, over 120 people have been killed, reportedly killed in Northwest, Kwara, Kebbi, Benue, Plateau. They are, as a matter of fact, killing fields. And Nigeria currently is number 4 on terrorism index, death arising from terrorism globally. Would you say that this government has lived up to its expectation and promises of fighting insecurity, or it has abandoned the Nigerian people?
Let's go back to what Tinubu just said a few days ago. He said, Buhari is me and I am Buhari. Buhari, that is Tinubu, or Tinubu that was Buhari, came under the platform that they were coming to deal with this security challenge. But this security challenge has worsened under them to the extent that Tinubu, despite the numerous killings in Yelwata, in Benue State, did not have the courage to visit the people. He only stopped at the state capital. Yelwata is not the capital of Benue State. And he turned back there. From there, he went to Plateau. He stopped at the airport. Commander-in-Chief, the chief security officer of the country, was so scared that he couldn't go to visit Yelwata, the community in Benue State, where loads of people were massacred. Commander-in-Chief and the chief security officer of Nigeria could not enter Jos. He just stopped at the airport, turned back. And the governor of Plateau State stopped at the airport. Drove in an armored car, armored personal carrier, to go and visit the people. So if the governor was so scared to go in an APC in Jos, that will show you that they have admitted that on the issue of security, they have failed woefully. So there is no area you can talk about them having succeeded or performed creditably for which they should be given another opportunity. And that is the reason why they are afraid of the 2027 election.
All right, let's look at 744 Boko Haram terrorists were released back into the Nigerian society by this government. Do you think terrorists deserve to be de-radicalized and reintegrated into the society?
I will leave the APC government that has taken that decision to answer that question. If they are satisfied, let them release them. If they are not satisfied, let them keep them. So if they are satisfied that they release them into the system and they continue in their old ways, it is the cross of the APC government. They should deal with it. So the issue of whether they have been de-radicalized or not de-radicalized is not for us. Laymen, we are not part of the de-radicalizing process. So let them deal with it. But if you may recall, there are things Nasiru El-Rufai said about bandits in the past, that there are no repented ones. You see, when in 2023, a lot of my friends were celebrating that at least we now have a Muslim ticket. Muslim ticket. I was thinking the whole essence of the Muslim ticket was to give the government, if they got into power, opportunity of reaching out to these bandits who were radicalized using maybe the wrong forms of Islam, to reach out to them and get them to change. But the way a lot of people were celebrating it, it was like, once you have a Muslim ticket, all the problems of Nigeria is solved. But I thank God today, and I like to ask a lot of those people who voted for the Tinubu government because it was a Muslim ticket. How come Gilbert Chagori, a Christian, a Catholic, is getting all the contracts? He's getting all the lofty contracts. It's like they have forgotten that Gilbert Chagori is a Christian. His mother's name is Alice. Look at Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Gilbert Chagori, Christian. Lagos, Badagry Sokoto Highway, Gilbert Chagori, Christian. The Apapa Wharves and all the things in the wharf, Gilbert Chagori, Christian. So, did you vote Muslim ticket so that Gilbert Chagori, the son of Alice Chagori, a Christian, a Catholic, could get all the jobs? So when people are voting, relying on religion, they should stop deceiving themselves. And this one should be a big eye-opener. Tell me any Muslims who have got 1/100 the amount of contracts that have been given to Gilbert Chagori, a Christian. So they use all this subterfuge of religion and tribe and ethnicity to deceive people into voting for them. And then once they get into power, they move on. So today, the people are suffering. Today, the people are crying.
What do you make of the comments of the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, on the floor of the Senate, that insecurity will end after 2027 elections?
I consider Akpabio as, and I won't take anything he says seriously. Whatever he says that suits the convenient of the moment, he just says, and most of the time you notice that when he says such things, he laughs over it. He's just a clown at best as Senate President. And I think nobody should be taking him seriously when he says all this stuff.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you on Naija and Unfiltered. Thanks.